Well, welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. So yeah, the UPS is a little unhealthy. Last time we were working on this area. As you can see, I have finished off. I had to do a little bit more landfill here. You may have noticed I actually had missed that bit, so I had to replace the blueprint just to cover that part. There is this little bit to go, and there's also this side to go. I've started doing landfill for this side. On the energy build, as you can see, we have a lot of busy robots. Basically all 3,300 of them. I had to come over here and invoke the supply train, but it has restacked the important substations, and well, we'd actually run out of substations, so we'd restacked substations to enable this to keep going, as well as some roboports and a few more radars just to make sure we don't run out of those either. I am happy to say that this whole situation has stabilized. I think. It's in the middle of dropping at the moment, so you're not seeing it at the end of the cycle, but yes, I checked it between times and it has stabilized. We're also running on version 16.45 now, so we are fully up to date, and we have also advanced 350 odd satellites since the 20,000 milestone. Now, what are we going to do this episode? Well, I would like to finish off that iron smelting stack 5, but also over here in green circuits, because this I never finished laying out the roboports, and this sort of mess is not really what we want. So we need to finish putting in some roboports, so that we don't get this sort of, because this sort of bot usage is just hitting our UPS for no good reason. So the first thing we are going to do is finish up this task. I probably said at the time I'd just do off camera, but you know, there's so many things that I commit to doing off camera that I end up not having time for them all. Let us just tell this to give me, say, 200 will do even. Actually, we don't have room for 200. That will do. We'll just take what we've got room for. Hopefully nothing's coming. I don't know if that's enough. There's probably a few more on the train that we can use, the engineering train. I'm mainly going to I'm going to start off with fixing up. So I mean, this one's not nearly as bad if we look at it on the map view. Well, we have quite a few here anyway, but it's otherwise not nearly as bad. So it's mainly the green circuits that is causing a problem. Well, it's not the green circuits themselves that is causing a problem, but you know, the bot usage. So we have 1,100 bots, maybe slightly more. We should have about 22 roboports. Instead we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we want something like about 11 more. Maybe even more than that. We want to make sure it doesn't connect up there, so it has to be down here. We probably want a few more over this way as well. So that's 10, maybe over here as well. That is in fact 11 more. We'll see how we go. Maybe we'll add a few more, but I would like to do all of the green circuit parts of the stack first. So here is another, this is iron. It doesn't look too bad. It's not actually being stressed especially at the moment, so maybe that's why. Coming down here we have another copper. It's a little unbalanced. Could probably do with a few more over here. How many bots have we got? 6, 8, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we've got enough roboports. It's just they're not very well balanced where I've put them. But down here we again have a bit of a nightmare in terms of green circuits. So 1100 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's not as bad as the other one. In theory, it only needs about 4 more. In theory. Maybe we'll just give it a little bit more than that, just because. And we can revisit these and just plaster a whole lot more if they haven't really improved much by the time we get to the bottom. So there's only really 4 of them in total. I'm just going to ignore the iron and the copper for the moment. This one should be doing a whole lot better, because that looks like a fairly healthy number of roboports, in fact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, that's tons. So maybe not quite tons enough. There's a copper. Down here we have a fairly healthy number of roboports as well. Right, well, I'm going to go back and saturate the top 2. Still have a bunch of roboports, so we certainly can. See if that helps out a little bit. It's hard to know exactly what the impact is. What are we doing at the moment? Only 270,000 over the last minute. Close to 500k iron plates per minute. So, I mean, those are fairly healthy. This one's not particularly healthy just at the moment. That's a little low as well, but never mind. Okay, so yeah, let's get some more roboports in here. I don't think it would hurt to have 1 or 2 out this way as well. I don't think the roboports especially use a lot of energy, so it's, well, sorry, it's not the energy I'm worried about, the UPS. I don't think they use a lot of UPS, so I'm not really worried about that. I think their benefit in terms of reducing bot UPS way outweighs any cost involved with them, so that's a fairly saturated green circuit build now, and that should be a lot better. Although, yeah, these ends could probably do with a few more, so why not? Maybe down here as well. Just a couple more. That should help. That's iron, and this is the other green circuit. So yeah, we can go to town a little bit more. Come out this way a little bit. Maybe there. Sorry, I was slightly distracted by my phone giving me a text message of some sort. important. Let's get rid of these medium poles that are no longer necessary. There is a small saving from not having them if you don't need them. If you remove enough, it does add up. And at this end, let's have a few more of these as well. And perhaps down here as well, just because. Oops. Oh, actually, that's probably fine. Okay. Probably room for a couple more in here. One more there, one more here, and one more here. So has the, yes, as you can see, so this was using the 1100 maximum. Now the number of bots being used has more or less halved because we're not having a huge queue of bots lining up trying to charge, and that was entirely the point. So definitely well worth it. And I think I'll now go down to the bottom two and finish saturating them, and then we can make tracks back to iron smelting 5. This is one of them, yes. Okay. How are we going? So yes, this one could benefit from some additional let us clear out these unnecessary medium poles if we find any. Looks like I've already done that to some extent, and of course the UPS loves it when I run across a screen full of robots. That should do. How are we doing now? We're utilising them all, but with a bit of luck that number will, well, maybe it actually needs them for the moment. At least the number that are sitting charging is probably dropped. And the distance they have to travel to find a charger has probably dropped as well. So, I mean, that is sort of part of it as well. Can have another look at it when we, I mean, even this one, you can see there's a big queue of bots just there. If we start extending this, we can perhaps eliminate that. And we have medium poles we can get rid of. I guess I probably could have made a deconstruction blueprint to do that, but you know, there aren't that many really, so it's not such a big deal. There's one of these in every slot. And a few extras at the end. And yeah, that should be a lot happier. We definitely have spare robots now, and I'm not seeing a build-up of any charging anywhere, so that's kind of mission accomplished. and we even have a few left over. Maybe we'll quickly do a scan of so we could better balance some of these ore ones. Especially that one. Copper 9. So the next copper just up here. That's 8. That's iron. So yeah, this copper up here, it's all weighted down this end, so if we throw a bunch down the other end, that would probably help a little bit. Stay out of the way of the ore train coming in. Let's throw one way out here somewhere. And on the other side. Yeah, that just should be a little bit more balanced. And we're still good with our... Oh, I don't want 200 of those guys. Time to head back, I think. I think we've done enough. It has helped UPS, though you might not believe it. Just even recording this actually lowers the UPS by 2, unfortunately. Might just be a function of the age of my PC, but never mind. Let us head to hashtag iron smelting 5. So what we're going to do when we get there is, I mean, part of the reason I did what I did, oh, it is back here already, was so that this would have time to come back. That's the landfill train, because I had exhausted it already. I need to landfill a bit further over here. I need to fill in this. I need to come over up to about here. So I guess what we will do is I will do... Oh, and a... Oh no, that's just this one. I thought it was a fuel train because it's coming so far over now. But yes, this should be operating a lot more effectively than it was before. At least, I mean, this side should be. Looks like fairly soon those 3 will all be restored. Let's just see how long it takes this one to get topped up, whether it stays unattended for as long as it did prior to this revamp. And they're all working at the moment. Any time now, guys, send one down here. Anytime, guys. There we go. With a bit of luck, that one's going all the way to the bottom. I see we've finished 314. I have no idea at this point what that will get to, but I mean, as I've said before, and at least this way it sort of does end up prioritizing there rather than there. Yeah, it doesn't matter exactly what this gets to, as long as, I mean, even though we have some other science to do, we benefit from productivity with every level, so it kind of makes sense to keep doing them, and that's getting in there. So I don't think this missed a beat. Even these ones at the edges are working, which is the main thing. So let's get on with another one. Has that helped this list? No, it's still going over the page. Maybe there are these SIs are steel, iron, 1 unload, so they're all irons. So the steel is still struggling. Where are we? We're there. That's fine. What I'm going to do, guys, is get ready to. Well, I'll do this off camera, and then we can do the rest of the revamp. We can come back and do the rest of the revamp. So I mean, there's nothing especially or different about what I'm doing. It's the same as we have done on numerous occasions. So I will see you soon. Well, welcome back. Okay, so in this part of the show, the show as it were, we obviously want to clear out our trains here. Where are you going? You're coming in. Alright. Stop receiving new trains. It will do bad things probably to all of our numbers, but it's kind of the only way forward. They'll probably maybe they won't block here. They'll sit. No, we've already. Oh no, he's going straight forward. That's all right. So there's what, 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, plus whatever is sitting in the stacker. Just have to wait for that to clear. And let's, while we're doing this, we can, I have dumped all of my stuff. We need to pick up my gear so that we can start actioning this as the trains clear. Right, that's all of our things now. And some of these are rather specific, actually. Why do I even have some of these at the moment? Not entirely sure. Right, that's the one that we used to build this. I basically want something similar to what I've put in up here. Which maybe should be done in a couple of segments, or this bit, a 4-way connection, and all this bit. Let's get all this bit sorted out first. I don't need to do that because I have a blueprint right here. So if we started at about that point, oh, that's only 3, that's no good. We need to go further than that. We need to go all the way down to here. Alright, let's start that again. Something like that. We can put that down for the moment. Get into position, use our Invini zoom to see how well that will fit. Hopefully we have enough landfill here. We probably do. It looks like these trains are clearing pretty quickly. I mean, that one's almost full. Okay. In fact, we probably have too much space because we were making use of the sort of horizontal back where we were to quite an extent because of our space restriction. We don't really have that space restriction here. Rotate. Or do we? It actually looks like well, if I push that in and it's not actually intersecting, it can fit, but it's a fairly close run thing. Okay. I guess that doesn't matter, because if we look here, coming into about this point or this point before we start doing this sort of thing is fine. Well, it actually goes the other way. So you are almost done. Let's get out of InfiniZoom. Let's start ripping this up where we can. Is that the last train? No, there's these two up here. I think we still have a situation where... No, we still have iron in demand immediately, so it hasn't completely resolved itself. How are we doing? This is the last one, 19k, it's not too much. Alright, that should be fine. Let's get rid of all this stuff. From what I understand, angled rail is actually more expensive than straight or vertical rail as well in terms of processing, but you know, there's probably bigger fish to fry. Whoops. Is that train? No. Whoops. We better reinstate that. So that train can go. That was just a little bit premature, never mind. So yes, this action will probably cause a little bit of a slowdown potentially in our science effort. Is that it finally? Yes. So as soon as this one has departed, we can finish off, and we don't actually have to wait, like I didn't for the other side. We don't actually have to wait for our bots to actually clear all of this stuff that we mark for deconstruction. Let's just ruin this supply stop. Hopefully we don't crash. We haven't in the past, so I was fairly confident would be okay. And yes, doing it at these horrid numbers is not fun. But it's alright. I think I have painted it all now, or close enough. So if we get sort of towards the middle of where all this is at, which would be round about here, go back to InfiniZoom and get our revision. Actually, I want to go a little bit further with InfiniZoom because I want to see that bit down below just to make sure it's okay. And there we go. Place our new pre-stackers in. Let's get out of InfiniZoom. And and I guess it's probably time, once some of the track has been relayed, it's probably time to swap over. Actually, if I no, it's not going to work. There we go. That should help a little bit in terms of the bots charging. So what I might actually do is, since we're definitely running out of time, I'll pause this, probably get the bots to finish up this part, and then we can stamp down the next part and reconnect up with our four-way intersection and see where we're at that point. So see you shortly. And back. And the bots are just finishing up the last bit. As you can see, it's all been laid down. It didn't take that long, but it is quite a long time when you're considering the time you have within an episode. I don't know what that is. Let's just get rid of it. So now I basically want this bottom part infrastructure. Yeah. So it looks a bit like we got to about that part. So I guess we want to do something like that. If we get rid of those and those, there's no reason for boxes there or inserters. It should get rid of most of the stuff here, and in fact those as well. Let's tick that. Come back to where we are, rotate it once. Actually, before we put it down, I know that I still have this line here that we need to erase. This is probably just a sign that there's a slowdown in science due to us shutting down the smelter while we're doing this, but it won't be for that much longer before we're up and running. Actually, this whole exit is probably going to get deleted very shortly. You guys get rid of all of that. I think while you're doing it, I'm going to swap back to my faster legs so that we can get into position a little bit faster. It's possible we will need more landfill just there. With a bit of luck, we won't. Okay, back to InfiniZoom. Something like that. This was the one, I believe. And something like that creates our stackers at the beginning and the end. And this was okay, so that's fine too. Let's get back to our slow legs but fast bot charge. Not that that's going to be enough, but it does in general help. And now we need to work out basically where the trains are going to access all of this. From. Just make sure we haven't, slightly concerned that maybe this would actually overlap that, which would have been a problem, but that's not the case. where do we actually get to? We do kind of cross over there. Well, we don't need to. We could probably do a big circuit, or, you know, a curve just here. Let's just have a look where it would place the whole thing. So if we went something like that, we'd be heading basically straight for that section there. This is all a bit messed up anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. This sort of section is what we're after. Okay, let's get rid of this bit. And this bit. And this bit. Bit of luck I won't kill myself in the process. I'm sure that would be entertaining. We don't really need it. Get rid of you, get rid of the excess light there. Okay, there's a little bit of manual cleanup required here still as well. And we're sort of suggesting this one, I do believe. So, let me find the 4 to 4. So it is something like that. I think. Or are we too far down? No, we're too far down. That's not going to work. Let's get rid of all of that. You know what? In many ways, it might just be better just to do that. And even that. Rebuild all of that track. Let's actually do this corner first. So we want it to go something like that. And that will roll into a 4x4 that goes something like this. With lots of cleanup to do. Let's just make sure these actually connect up. By some miracle they do. And obviously I still need to tidy up a few things. That's not really going to work at all, so let's not worry about it. We'll just manually fill this in. We need to get the stations and the subscribers sorted out to get this whole thing back up and running, but I think we've probably run out of time, so I'll do that a little bit off camera. And next episode we will finally go and Work on our final oil. So this oil here, we'll try and revamp that, or design the revamp for it next episode, and make it happen so that we can finally get on with what we're supposed to be doing. Looking forward to it. See you then, guys. Thanks for joining me for this one. Bye bye for now.